As I mentioned there in the headline, the UK has been experiencing some of the warmest February days on record, with the Met Office reporting a temperature of 20.3 degrees Celsius at Trawsgoed in Ceredigion in West Wales, which I happen to know rather well. It's right in the middle of the countryside. It's a lovely area. It's the first time a temperature of over 20 degrees Celsius has been recorded in winter. It breaks the UK's record for February, and a new English record has been set with temperatures rising to 20.1 degrees Celsius in Hampton in southwest London. Plenty for us to talk about, and with me is the climate change expert, Tom Burke. Tom, good to have you with us. Thanks for coming in.
Good morning.
What's going on?
What's going on is exactly what climate scientists have been telling us would happen if we went on putting carbon into the atmosphere, that we'd find more and more extreme weather events, that the probability of something like this happening would go up. So what we've got is temperatures that are twice what they would normally be at this time of the year. Well, imagine if this was the summer and the temperature was twice what it would normally be. And you really begin to get an idea of how serious this problem could be, and why the children are right, basically, to say this is an emergency. It's not just another issue that we can take our time to deal with.
I mean, it's a strong point to make, isn't it? Because there were a few parliamentarians today saying, underlining what you're saying, look, this isn't a good news story. People out there having a lovely sunny day in February, and how nice is that? Actually, it's a bit of a massive alarm call.
No, I think that's exactly right, even though my PA was grumbling about having had some sunburn, frankly, in February. But that's exactly right. It's an alarm call. It's saying we're not going fast enough. Now, Britain has done pretty well in terms of a response compared to other countries, but it's not good enough, and we're not going fast enough down the road. We need to do a lot more, for instance, to reduce the amount of carbon emissions tied to keeping people warm in winter. Now, funnily enough, if we did that by improving the energy efficiency of our homes, we'd be lowering people's bills as well. So it's really silly not to be trying to do much more than we are doing now.
We've reported in recent months on some of the world's biggest industrial powers. I'm thinking of China, for example, investing often in coal-burning energy facilities. Is that the area where the biggest pressure is on to get people to change behaviour? Can we just say that Western Europe is doing as much as it can, or is that not even true?
No, Western Europe is not doing as much as it can. Western Europe needs to do a lot more. And in particular, interestingly, we need to stop helping to fund people building coal-fired power stations elsewhere in the world, particularly as we've now, actually by 2025, we will have basically phased out coal. So it's rather silly of us to go on helping to fund those stations elsewhere.
So if we make the point about Western Europe, which is clear, where does that then leave, let's say, countries like India or China or other very big industrial powers?
What I think we'll see in relation to power for electricity and even for transport is they'll leapfrog, much as they did with mobile phones. We shouldn't assume that what they'll do is just repeat the mistakes we made. I think they'll go much, because the cost of renewables is going down, the cost of electric vehicles is going down so fast. As you go to scale in countries like China and India, then we'll move very fast. I think the problems are going to come elsewhere. The problems are going to come with dealing with agriculture, dealing with the methane emissions from livestock, which is why people are talking so much now about the need to think about our diets. I think it's going to be a problem with dealing with heat and cooling. Of course, we think of heat in this country, but cooling in a lot of the world, and finding a way to do that without using gas. But we have the technology, and we know we'll probably make the economy better if we do this. It's really getting the politics right that's going to be important.
Just a final point in terms of public opinion and pressure, which then translates into more political decisions. What will it take? I mean, lots of people understand already, but what will it take for the mass of our population to turn around and say, hang on a bit, we simply can't tolerate this anymore?
They should just do what their children are asking them to do. Frankly, the children have got it right. They're the people with the real stake in getting the future right and keeping it safe. But actually, you're right to say that the public, by and large, have got it. The problem really is with the politicians, not with the public.
Okay, Tom, great to talk to you again. Thanks very much indeed. Nice to see you. Tom Burke, Director of E3G's Climate Change Think Tank. Nice, Tom, to come in to talk.